jump right into it. I'm going to give you guys the fights, bottom to top, all the fights, prelims to main card, and then we're going to give you our picks and our opinions on each fight all the way back down, main card, back down to prelims, and however long you want to stay here, you are more than welcome to stay here. So starting off the night, dude, we've got Randy Costa taking on Guido Canetti. I didn't know Guido Canetti was still in the UFC. The dude's mad fucking old at this point. One of Dorian's favorite ones that he likes to go to. I don't know a lot about her, but apparently she likes to armbar all of my picks. So Julia Stoliarenko taking on Chelsea Chandler. I don't know shit about fucking Chelsea Chandler, dude. Maxim Grishin taking on Felipe Lins, that does not need to be in the UFC. If you know how I feel about Jamie Pickett, you can apply that to Felipe Lins as well. Brendan Allen taking on Christoph Jocko. Joaquin Silva taking on Jesse Ronson, coming off of a USADA suspension and looked awful in his last fight. Jessica Penne taking on Tabitha Ricci. What are we doing here? Alexia Oleinik taking on Alir Latifi. I have a feeling me and Dorian might have different picks on that fight. Mike Davis taking on Slava Klaus. Vyacheslav Borishev, John Castaneda taking on Daniel Santos, Sadiq Youssef taking on Don Shanis as a massive underdog. Hani Barcelos, also don't feel that confident about. I don't feel like he's that good, taking on Trevin 5-Star Jones. Randy Brown taking on Francisco Trinaldo in the co-main event, dude. In our main event of the night, Mackenzie Dern taking on Yan Xiaonan, dude. So some names, but we also got some fights that are like, dude, like Randy Brown versus Francisco Trinaldo in our co-main event. Like, what are we doing here for our fucking co-main event? Like,
Dude, and Francisco Trinaldo is how? Oh, dude, he's 44. I was just looking at it. He is 44. That's nuts.
Yeah, dude. It's like I would have much rather had like you change around some names to get some better matchups. You know, like I just feel like there was better matchups to be made for this card, and it's like you're like fucking matching up a pretty solid prospect in fucking Randy Costa. You have him on the opening fight of the prelims against a Guido Canetti. Like, what are we doing here? Like, I feel like it could be higher on the card and not against Guido, like fucking Guido Canetti here. So we'll start there at the main event, dude. Are we gonna have like fucking different picks off the jump? What do you think? Yeah or no? Because you know who I'm going for.
Potentially. Honestly, I'm still looking at it. I'm still kind of mulling back and forth
Oh wow,
on
surprising.
who I think.
Let me give you my thoughts and opinions on this fight in the co-main event. Mackenzie Dern, in the main event, Mackenzie Dern versus Yan Xiaonan, dude. Yan Xiaonan's got pretty solid takedown defense. She hasn't been taken down too many times outside of Carlos Esparza that just fucking had a field day with her. But the issue is when she is on the ground, dude, she looks like she has no clue what to do. She looks like Greg Hardy down there. She was like, how do I fucking get up? I have no idea. And Mackenzie Dern, if she has you on the ground, that's an issue that's an issue. Like no matter who you are in the division, you could have great ground defense. And if she has you on the ground, that's a fucking problem. That being said, dude, Mackenzie Dern doesn't need to get her to the ground, dude. She can have her up against the fence, hop on her back, a la or like fucking via Tisha Torres, dude. I don't feel like unless Yan Xiaonan can really keep her distance and outstrike her, Dern should have this in the bag, in my opinion, no matter what. I'm going Dern via submission because that's how I go every single Dern fight. How are you going here, man?
Man, I think this is a really tough fight. I do think that of course, the biggest aspect into this is the submission game from Dern and the striking game versus Yan. And I do think that, as you said, Yan has been able to display really good takedown defense, but that Esparza fight, Carlos Esparza is a dog when it comes to the wrestling. I actually think she's probably the best wrestler in the division right now. I do think that Mackenzie Dern, her submissions are super lethal. And I know that she could get the back takes or something like that from the fence. I do think Jan's going to be a little bit more ready for that. Mackenzie Dern's takedowns aren't the greatest. I think that Jan is obviously going to be the better striker. I think she's going to be a little bit quicker. Mackenzie Dern does, when she tries to get into range, she does kind of tend to leave her head in one place, leaving herself to be an open target to get hit, especially off of a counter fighter. I think that Jan, I think she's going to be a little bit quicker. I actually think she's going to be able to get the decision win. So give me Yan Xiaonan.
It wouldn't surprise me, dude. I don't know. It's just, dude, I thought Jan beat Rodriguez, and I had a bet for Rodriguez, dude. I honestly thought fucking Jan won that fight. It's just, dude, Jan looks so bad on the ground against like Esparza, and it's just glaring, dude. It's just like, and I know Mackenzie Dern doesn't have the greatest takedowns, dude, but all of her fights end up there. Like in every single one of her fights, it's on the ground at some point. It just ends up there. So that being said, dude, when this fight ends up on the ground, Mackenzie Dern's going to get that sub. That's how I'm going. Dorian's going Yan Xiaonan. Anything else on this one, or you want to move on down to the co-main event?
Yeah, we can move on down.
All right. Randy Brown taking on Francisco Trinaldo, dude. Randy Brown should get this done, in all reality. But dude, I've seen Francisco Trinaldo put people's lights out, and the way Randy Brown backs away from shots like he does though. Dude, if Francisco Trinaldo throws an overhand at that exact point, dude, Randy Brown's done for. I've seen Francisco put too many people out, and I've seen excuse me, and I've seen Randy Brown put out. He looked pretty good against fucking Chaos Williams in his last fight. Defense pretty solid. Randy Brown should get this done, but I'm going to throw it out there. It wouldn't surprise me if Francisco Trinaldo put his lights out. How do you see this one going?
Yeah, and I'm thinking sort of the same, but remember going back in that Chaos Williams and Randy Brown fight, Chaos Williams dropped him there in that third
because
round.
Of what remember, he does,
because the defense where he's doing the shoulder roll, and he's like, he's trying to do the lean like he's doing the snake or something. He's doing the snake with the rolling the punches, and he ended up getting caught. So Francisco Trinaldo is a guy who's a power puncher. Dude, I mean, he hurt Danny Roberts at 170. I mean, Jai Herbert. And this is here just as of recently, and he's 44 years old, still putting out dudes like that. But I do think Randy Costa is going to be the slicker fighter. He's going to have the who did I say?
Randy Costa. We'll talk about him later.
Oh, I mixed the two Randys up, but I do think Randy Brown is going to be a little bit more the slicker of the two. And Randy Brown gets it done easy.
Okay, cool. Moving on down to the next one. Hani Barcelos taking on Trevin 5-Star Jones, dude. I feel like a lot of people, or most people, are high on Hani Barcelos, dude. But to me, just not been impressed at all, dude. He's looked semi-okay, dude. On the other hand, Trevin 5-Star Jones, he's shown flashes of brilliance, but at the same time, he's got knocked out too. But only against, I'm not sure if he's gotten fucking knocked out. Maybe. I don't remember. But he's only gotten beaten by, solid people. Javid Basharat fucking comes to mind, dude. And he's really fucking good. I don't think Hani Barcelos is as good as fucking Javid is. I'm going to go with the underdog here. I'm going Trevin Jones. How about you, man?
I think that Hani Barcelos, he's super solid. I think that's the biggest thing, and he's got the win over Saeed Nurmagomedov back in the day. So maybe people just right off the coattails of that. Trevin Jones is going to be the more explosive fighter, and he's going to have more power between the two. He's definitely capable of putting out Hani Barcelos, but I think I've seen him. I've seen too many downs of him more than I have ups.
Saidikub Kakramanov was his other loss, I think, which is also a
Yeah,
really fucking good guy. So that's his only like two losses, I think. Is he only
yeah.
lost twice?
But
Oh no, he's lost
I've
like
seen
8
two.
times.
I've seen a couple of downs from him more than I have ups, and I think Hani is really solid. So I think Barcelos is going to be able to. I think he'll be able to basically be the more technical fighter and get the decision.
All right, I'm not sure if I want to put this one in the picks for the week, just because I think I'm just maybe going off of how much I don't like Honey, but one that I know that I have, well, we'll have at least fucking 3 by the end of the day. One that I really want to pick different on is that Alir Latifi versus Alexei Oleinik, because there's no way in hell Doran's picking Alexei Oleinik in that fight.
Don't say that because that it is the Oli Latifi. So
Hey, all right, moving on down. We might have that one. Dude, maybe you can dude, Sadiq Yusuf taking on John Shanis. Don Shanis. Dude, maybe I was I listening to James Krause's podcast and he said like that, like fucking Don Shanis was like one of his guys. Maybe, I'm not sure, but fucking it wasn't last week, but a few weeks ago now, dude, he had a big underdog again against fucking Daniel Zellhuber. It was Trey Ogden versus like fucking Daniel Zellhuber. Massive underdog, dude. And just the game plan against like a young guy that just didn't really have the experience. On the other hand, dude, we got kind of the opposite here. We got a UFC vet at this point, like Sadiq Yusuf, taking on UFC newcomer. But dude, from what I've heard about Don Shanis, that he is like balls to the wall, dude. He's 100% getting the takedown 100% of the time. And if he doesn't, he's going to keep trying, and he's got the gas tank. My thing is, Sadiq Yusuf has shown struggles off his back, dude. And he's like a -1,000 favorite, dude. Is it worth a shot as like at fucking Don Shanis to fucking maybe get like a decision win, or like should we just hope this one goes over fucking 1.5? How you see this one going? Obviously, Sadiq Yusuf should fucking get the dub. I'm definitely not picking on this one either way. One, because like Sadiq Yusuf never impressed me. He is super Sadiq Yusuf, but he is going up against shameless Don Shanis, dude.
I would say I know you're a stickler for the middle names. I know you love. I know you love the nicknames. I know you love the nicknames, dude.
That's how I remember them, dude.
But no, but no, I do think that Sadiq should be able to get it done. I don't know much about Don Shamus. I'll take your word for it as far as him being a great wrestler.
What throws me off is like he's 1,000 favorite. Why is Sadiq Yusuf 1,000 favorite over anyone in the UFC? It doesn't matter who it is. He shouldn't be that big.
I mean,
favorite.
As far as a gambling perspective, I definitely get your point. Now, as far as the matchup goes, Don Sheamus, he is taking this fight on super short notice, and they even had to schedule this fight about a week or two. They had to postpone it about a week or two to give Don Sheamus enough time to get ready for the fight, because Sadiq was supposed to fight Chikadze. But I do think that Sadiq is a little bit more, just UFC experience at this point. So I do think that Sadiq should be able to get the dub.
He just dropped the ball a lot, and I wouldn't feel comfortable not even putting him like in a parlay, dude. I would not put Sadiq Yusuf in my fucking parlay. One, it ain't going to help that much. And he's a massive favorite and a liability.
His only loss in the UFC is to Arnold Allen. I wouldn't say he's came up short a lot. Yeah,
but
he's only lost one fight.
He's not been in. He's been taken down a whole lot. That's my thing. I've seen him show weakness. How about that?
I mean, he was undefeated in the UFC before that Arnold Allen fight, and he's only got one loss. I mean, he's been impressive.
Not
yeah,
impressed.
I mean,
not impressed.
I mean, I guess, but
all right, moving on down. John Castaneda taking on Daniel Santos, dude. I gotta be honest, I'm not too familiar with either one of these guys. How about you, man? I don't really have a strong feel either way. If I had to pick, I would go John Castaneda just because of the experience. 19-5 taking on the 9-2 Daniel Santos.
Yeah, I cannot lie. I feel like Daniel Santos. I remember that name from somewhere, but other than that, yeah. As far as being familiar with either or, couldn't really tell you a thing. Couldn't
Let's
tell
go,
you a
John
thing.
Castaneda. Got a hell of a shit ton of experience. One that Dorian should know because I had to remind him last week. Or if not, let me set it up for y'all. Mike Davis taking on Vyacheslav Borishev, aka Slava Claus. For those of you who don't know, Mike Davis, won, or let me set it up like this. Every year, Tiger Muay Thai has a tournament for a spot to train there, all expenses paid, and you can stay there. I believe it's for a year, maybe something like that. Mike Davis won that tournament. Vyacheslav Borishev is the striking coach at Team Alpha Male, the kickboxing coach. So we have two very high level strikers here taking on one another. Mike Davis does have solid takedowns. Vyacheslav Borishev has shown weakness in his last fight against Mark DeCasey, but Mark DeCasey has apparently transformed to an all-American fucking wrestler at this point. I could only assume that Vyacheslav Borishev takedown defense has gotten better because he does train at Team Alpha Male. I would think he's been working on that. What this is really going to come down to is Mike Davis going to shoot for a takedown, and can he get that? If not, dude, this fight could go either fucking way. I have to slightly lean Vyacheslav Borishev just because I like it striking a little bit more. It comes to my mind a tad bit quicker. I have to like look back into Mike Davis. Like, who is fucking Mike Davis? He also doesn't fight that often either. So I guess I'm going Vyacheslav Borishev here. Break down this fight for me, and who are you going?
I think you broke it down, pretty beautifully as far as the way they match up against one another. Mike Davis he's a super explosive striker and he's got a lot of power. And I do think that he's going to be very dangerous coming into this fight because, as you said, he's not one that fights super active, but he's still fairly young. And I do think that Borishev, he's a little bit inexperienced, so this could be, one of those moments where a young prospect like Borishev could be set up for failure against someone like Mike Davis, who's a hard puncher. But I do think that Borishev, he is a little bit more the fresher fighter, as in being more active here as of recently. And I do think Mike Davis is taking this fight on pretty short notice as well. So,
Well, he was gonna fight fucking Euro Schmedic, but he fell out. So like fucking Vyacheslav is the one fucking taking it on, I guess, late notice.
Oh, see, I thought it was the other way around. I thought
Nah.
Eurosmedic was supposed to fight Borishev, and Mike Davis took this fight on short notice.
No.
Oh, okay. So that actually changes things for me a little bit because I thought it was vice versa. You know what? That actually changed my mind. I actually think I'll actually go Mike Davis because
Right.
to me that sounds like that he was prepared for a fight already. So that means he's already in. That means he's in fight shape for me, and I think he's a little more experienced. So yeah, considering that little nugget you just dropped there for me, yeah, I think I'm gonna pick Mike Davis.
All right. So we do have three different ones, but we'll go on now and we'll pick our best three different ones. The maybe what we feel the most confident on to put up the pick champ this week. So moving on down, one that I cannot wait to talk about, Alexei Oleinik taking on Alir Beefy Latifi, dude, the heavyweight Alir Latifi, dude, the boa constrictor, dude, can sub anyone, dude. I don't care who it is. Last time you picked against him, you said, I don't see how Alexei Oleinik wins this fight. He was taking on Jared Vandera. And I said, I don't see how Jared Vandera wins this fucking fight. Alexei Oleinik, if he gets taken down, he's super active from the bottom. He's scrambling. He's looking for legs. You won't find a still Alexei Oleinik on the ground. And I got to be honest, his striking looked, I don't want to say good, But for Alexei Oleinik, his striking seems to be improving, dude. He's got crazy long arms. Once again, dude, I'm going Alexei Oleinik here. If Alir Latifi tries to take him down and just lay on him, which Alir Latifi seems to do, that's his thing, is just wasting time in fucking controlling positions, if you will. I think he's going to make the mistake. He might tire himself out trying to keep a hold of the older, more scrambly Alexei Oleinik. Both these dudes aren't that big. Alir Latifi doesn't have a neck, though. That's my thing. But can Alexei Oleinik get that scarf hold on that no neck Alir Latifi? I say so. I'm going Alexei Oleinik here. Who are you going here, man?
Looking at the matchup, I know you're a big Alexei Oleinik fan, and
The
I
boa
think
constrictor.
Alir Latifi. Yeah, and he's put on some fun fights, and you want to talk about experience, dude. I mean, you're talking what 77 fights the dude's had at this point. I mean, just fought you. I mean, he's fought from all the way down from middleweight all the way up to heavyweight, dude. He fought Chael Sonnen back in the day, and Chael Sonnen actually beat him in a decision too. If you didn't know that, but I think for this matchup. Alir Latifi, the dude is built like a brick shithouse. Even that he's 40 years old as well, but he's built like a John Anik says he's built like a woodshed because he's just short and wide. And that dude, he's built like a damn brick house. And I do think with him, with his wrestling, I think he'll be a little bit more slicker. Not going to be as susceptible to the submissions as maybe like a Jared Van Der would be. And I do think that he's going to be a little bit more of the slicker striker because Alir Latifi throws them punches with them straight arms and he throws them damn clubbers and he's throwing that damn thing around like that. When he gets going, he can get going, but man, his striking is kind of hard to watch sometimes. So I do think Alir Latifi gets the win here.
Okay, so we got another different one, dude. So I like it. I like it. We're for sure having the main event in that one in there, man. One of my two favorite fights to pick on. I love picking against you when I pick like Mackenzie Dern, and I love picking against you when I pick Alexei Oleinik, dude. They're just two that continue to keep hitting for me, man. I don't win them all, but I feel like when I pick those fighters and you pick like against them, it's just like automatic dub every time, dude. But here we go. Moving on down, dude. One that, dude, I'm not convinced this fight's gonna happen, dude. Jessica Penne is mad old at this point. Taking on the baby shark, Tabitha Ricci, dude. Jessica Penne was on the inaugural 115 Tough, yeah, like way back in the day, like
way back.
Yeah, so that was, dude, that was the one Tough that I think I watched it twice now, to be honest. Like I watched the whole thing twice just because it was the one that was like, I feel like it was the best Tough, like because it was all good fighters from like other organizations, like or it was like all from like Invicta, like fucking they just took like the entire like Invicta roster and fucking on the Tough show. Like it was like some shit like that. Like fucking Carla was already like the champion of Invicta, and then you know she ends up fucking beating Rose for the championship at the end. But anyway, this fight, dude, Jessica Penne taking on the baby shark Tabitha Ricci, dude. If it was anyone else, dude, I've hit on this multiple times. If it was anyone else that has any weakness to being choked at all, I'm doing Jessica Penne via sub, dude, because she's like the female Aljamain Sterling, dude. She'll hop on your back and fucking stay there. She'll ride your back around the whole fucking round. Tabitha Ricci, on the other hand, she's a solid black belt. She's only lost once to Manon Fiorot, dude. Once, yeah. She's 7-1 or 7-2. Yeah, 7-1. She lost to Manon Fiorot, dude. And she pretty much held her own, a weight class up. She did get beat up, but she lasted a long time, dude. So I just don't see any way Jessica Penne can beat her, dude. The fucking baby shark's a black belt as well. I maybe even a fucking Tabitha late round 2, early round 3 finish somewhere like around 3. I'm going Tabitha Ricci here. I assume you're going the same way.
Yeah, I think Tabitha Ricci just be I think she'll be just a little bit quicker. Jessica Panay, if she doesn't get the sub, I do think it'll be a long night for her. Her striking hasn't been the greatest, but she is slick with the submissions. But I think Ricci's going to be a little bit more experienced or a little bit more quicker. I'm sorry, and I think that she's going to be able to get the win.
All right. Are you convinced that fight's going to happen yet? Because, dude, Jessica Penne seems to like last minute, like, no, not this time. I don't know.
I'm gonna hold the faith. I'm gonna hold the faith for now.
All right, dude. I guess 1-2 that I'm not really too familiar with. Joaquin Silva taking on Jesse Ronson, dude. Do you have anything to say here? I guess I really don't know a whole bunch. Aside from
I know
like
Joaquin.
fucking Jesse Ronson in his maybe like his last fight came off of a suspension and then didn't look too good.
Yeah, the one I really know more about is Joaquin Silva, but
Okay,
talk about up and down performances. I mean, he hasn't really had the greatest performances. I remember he got knocked out by Nasbrak hack press a couple of years ago, but other than that, I'm not too. I'm not super familiar with either or.
Yeah,
but Joaquin Silva's definitely taking some lumps in the UFC. That's all I really know.
Yeah, so me and Dorian are both not too familiar with either one of these fighters. Jesse Ronson, 21-11, dude. What an odd record to be in the UFC, though. Moving on down, dude. One that always, whenever this is one that I know Dorian is waiting to pick on, because whenever I pick this guy, Dorian wins. Brendan Allen taking on Christoph Jocko, dude. I'm going Brendan Allen here just because I'm an all-in fan, dude. Brendan Allen, I pick him every single time. He's shown flashes of brilliance, dude. He's only 26 still. The dude's still mad fucking young. Fights at 185 and at 205. Maxim Grishin, on the other hand, he's got good takedown defense and pretty much, my bad, Christoph Jocko, on the other hand. Like, did I say I like fucking Brendan Allen versus I like fucking Maxim Grishin?
Yeah, you said it. You said it just now.
Anyway.
Not introducing me, but just now.
Okay, yeah, but Christoph Jocko, dude, he's really good. He's got solid takedown defense, dude. He has a hard time fucking taking him down. Pretty much wherever fucking Christoph Jocko wants the fight to be, that's where the fight's at. So it kind of gives me worry. But on the other hand, I think Brendan Allen's striking is a little bit, I don't want to say better. He's not more powerful, but he is more active and he's a lot quicker than Christoph Jocko is. I'm going Brendan Allen here. You going Christoph Jocko? And if you are, why?
I actually am going Christoph Jocko, and I think I know you were kind of smelling that one out there, but no, I think the reason why is that I do think I agree with you. Jocko has really good takedown defense. I think he's kind of been able to put it together a little bit as of late. Outside of the Sean Strickland loss, I think he's won like maybe 5 out of his last 6 or something like that. He's been able to kind of string together a couple good performances. And I think the biggest thing is that Christoph Jocko has really good footwork. I don't think he's going to be a still target. I think Brendan Allen, I don't think he's going to be the quicker fighter. He's going to have the more power. But I think for him, his biggest thing is he gets flat-footed and he gets caught in exchanges a lot, similar to how he did with Chris Curtis and Sean Strickland. He just gets caught in these exchanges and ends up getting clipped, and he gets flat-footed in those exchanges as well. And I don't think Christoph Jocko has the power to put him out, but I do think that he's going to be able to be in and out, land some jabs, land some leg kicks, land some teep kicks, couple body shots, get out of danger, and I think he'll be able to get a decision.
So we for sure have our 3 this week, man. Dorian is probably going to win this one because I feel like fucking Brendan Allen drops the ball on it every time, but I'm still picking him because I have faith in him.
Hey, we got 5 disagreements if you want to throw all 5 in there.
No. It is a fucking one of these fucking small cards, dude. I'm not confident on the ones up top, dude. Fucking Randy or like the Hani Barcelos fight. I'm not too confident on that, to be honest. Like, I'm not impressed by him, but it's like I'm not a 5-star Jones fan, to be honest. Like, I'm not impressed by him either. not going to be
I'm not
putting a whole lot
impressed
of
by your
money.
performance.
Exactly. So moving on down, dude. Maxim Grisham. There we go. Taking on Felipe Lins. Got to go Maxim Grisham here because Felipe Lins is not good, dude. He's reminds me of the skill level of Jamie Pickett, dude. Just not good. I don't think he belongs in the UFC. Just gotten beat multiple times. Not good, in my opinion. Takeaway on this fight, dude.
Yeah, I think keep it short and sweet. Felipe Lins, he's had a lot of ups and downs in the UFC as well, and Maxine Grisham. Let me try to get that right, but
Tongue twister.
definitely as far as yeah, just a little bit, but as far as experience, dude, what does he have? About 43 fights right now, so just absolutely crazy to see that he's got that many fights and. Shoot, he's on 38. I didn't realize he was that old. I thought he's about 35, 36. But yeah, both of them are actually pretty old at this point. Didn't realize Felipe Lins is 37 either. But give me Maxine Grisham.
Okay, both going Maxine Grisham there. One dude that I always pick against her, and she always arm bars who I pick. Dorian always picks her to win, so I'm gonna ride with Dorian this time because I don't feel like he knows a lot about Chelsea Chandler, just like me. I don't know shit about Chelsea Chandler. Julia Stolyarenko, via armbar is the way I see this going. I've maybe heard a few things about fucking Chelsea Chandler, which means, I mean, not which means, I think I heard that she's solid wrestler, which means she goes for takedowns, which that feeds right into Julia Stolyarenko's plan. Julia Stolyarenko about armbar is how I'm going. I don't know shit about Chelsea Chandler though.
Yeah, I actually I couldn't have said it any better. I think Stolyarenko, a little more experience in the UFC, and she's super slick with the arm bars when she gets them, man. So yeah, give me Stolyarenko.
You know anything about Chelsea Chandler or no?
Not a damn thing.
And one that surprised me that it's opening up the prelims, dude. Randy Costa taking on Guido Canetti, dude. Randy Costa, pretty solid around one fighter. If it goes past round one, he might lose. But hopefully he can get it in check, dude. Like, he's still young. I just feel like if he can get his pacing under control, the dude's a problem. Randy Costa, way younger here, should really get this done. But dude, if it starts going later on in the fight, Guido Canetti, the dude's got power, dude. It wouldn't surprise me if Guido Canetti got this done like later on round two, but I'm going Randy Costa here. How about you?
Yeah, he put away your boy Chris Moutinho in that last fight too. I knew you were going to say that. Nah, he put away Moutinho in his last fight, and he was a pretty big underdog going into that fight too, just because he's older. But he does have pretty big power for him to be older in that weight class, to be down at 135. But Randy Costa should be the quicker fighter. Definitely got the reach advantage. He throws big kicks. Be on the lookout for one of those. He kind of throws it similar to Leon. He'll throw the jab and throw the head kick behind it as well. He's super slick with that. So be on the lookout for one of those. I think Randy Costa can potentially get a knockout here.
All right, fair enough. Dorian going Randy Costa as well. So just to announce it, our three different picks of the week. We are going the main event, Mackenzie Dern taking on Yan Xiaonan. Dude, how often is it that we pick different on the main event? It's damn near every single week, yeah.
Yeah,
every week
just,
we pick
just
different
about
on the main event. But you know who
adds
picks
a
right
little spice,
here,
adds a little spice to it though.
You know who's the right picker over here, you know.
Yeah, no, it adds a little spice to it at the end of the card. So
indeed, dude. So the next one that we are going to go different on is Alexio Oleinik taking on Alir Latifi. Dorian going Alir Latifi. I'm going Alexio Oleinik. May backfire on me, dude, but it's all right. In our last one, dude, we are going Brendan Allen taking on Christoph Jocko, dude.